With this one, I feel like the background isn't quite working. The figure's a little bit too stylized. It's not working so well for me. The logo is kind of just pasted in there. I'm not convinced by the three-dimensional nature of the figure. That looks a bit flat for a comic. The stars are a little bit weird. Yeah, it's just not doing it for me, this illustration. I'm afraid it feels more like a color rough than it does a final illustration, as does this one. This one also, it's a little bit more finished, but there are bits, that are just letting it down. The arms, for example, the face, the shoes are quite good. The drums are okay. They're a little bit kind of raggedy here and there, and they could have been a bit crisper. And there's a couple of different styles going on. There's like this blended style, and then on the legs, and then there's a flat style here and there. Then sometimes there's line being predominant. Yeah, so I'm just not convinced by this, and I think obviously it needed more time, and we were in a tough part of our semester, and there were lots of stuff going on. So it's understandable that stuff happens to fall down by the wayside. That's the way it is, but there we are. The idea was really good, and in this one, at least, the logo does fit well into the illustration. So yeah, I'm good with that. Now we really get into an area where the product and the illustration are really working well, beautifully. The white outline around the product works well, and it goes with the logo. And then the white outline around the figure kind of ties that in nicely, really nice. And the blue and the star. I'm only just, I'm a little bit not convinced with the illustration itself. The line drawing is not up to as good as I would like it to be. I would like there to maybe be a little bit more line weight. It's got to either work really well with value, or it's got to work really well with line, but it can't just be, just a little bit of line and a little bit of value. And I'm feeling it's a bit more like a color rough than it is a finished illustration. Unfortunately, it needs to be a bit more polished for it to be more like a finished illustration. The shading needs to be a little bit better and a little bit more definite if we're going to rely so little on line. This one is where we really start to deal with a nice level of finish to the whole thing. It definitely works well with the logo. The figure, the blend shading and stuff is consistent all the way through. The type of drawing all the way through is really good. The hands and whatnot are well drawn. Figures are good. There's those lines in the legs are a little bit weird because they're not actually telling me about form, because the form very well anyway. And this front foot is a little weird. Doesn't look like a foot. It's a strange shape. But it's still a very good illustration, and the red background with the red of the figure works really well. It's starting to look, she's done a great job of the buildings. I think that the buildings need to be pushed back a little bit, maybe a bit lighter, to bring the figure out, because I'm losing him a little bit, but it's still good, and the rope is great. Well, this was a really good idea, and it's come along really nicely. The colors are good. I think there's still some more work to be done on the line drawing. It looks still needs a little bit more work, I feel. And the shadow is very good. The background is plain enough. I think we could do a little bit more with the background, because I'm feeling like it doesn't quite look finished enough for me for it to be seen as a finished illustration. It's still very good. I'm very happy with it. Well done. And then we get to this, and this looks like a very complete composition. I would like maybe a slight color in the background or around the outside. I feel like it's a bit white. But the drawing is good. The line weights are good. Everything is working really well here. And it gets it. The logo's working well with the figure, and everything is going. Some highlights here and there on the figure would be good as well. That one color of blue isn't very three-dimensional. I know there's a dark in there, but probably a highlight would be the next thing to add to this. And I think that the highlight in the right places here could, on the figure and the yellow actually, could really make this illustration work. And then a color in the background, and then I think it would look more finished. This one's very good, very finished. It looks really good. It's really sorted out. I still got a little bit of an issue with the white in the eye. I think we could have done something with that to make it not quite so flat. But you know, everything else is working really well, and it looks very good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. This one is surprisingly good. It's a very different kind of style from what I was expecting in this project, and it's a very different style than I was expecting from this illustrator. It's a very kind of pastel kind of look to it, but you know what? It works super well with the product. So yeah, kudos to you. Maybe a shine on the glass. Well, you've got one on the top left, but maybe one coming down like just over the ear and then going all the way to the top would be really good. And maybe a few highlights on this grey kind of suit thing that he's wearing, but that hand is lovely. Yeah, nice job. This one is excellent. Excellent drawing, excellent idea, excellent illustration. Maybe we could have given a little bit more attention to the fish, because it looks a little bit more cartoony, more abstract than the rest of the drawing. That hand is awesome though, isn't it? Isn't that hand lovely, the way that comes forward? That's just very cool. Very nice illustration. Well done. And you've addressed all the issues that we talked about in our last critique, and it's looking really cool. This one is also very good. I really like this. Really I was surprised with the shirt and the little patterns in there. That really brought something out there. I really like the hair. That was a nice surprise as well. Everything has come together now. There was a lot of work done on this, and you know, it's got better and better and better as things gone on. And the eyes are really good. Now, could he use maybe some eyelashes? Might be the next thing to add to it. But you know, I really like that shine on the teeth as well. That's very cool. It's all in all, this is a really nice finished illustration. So is this. You know, this is perfectly. I should say as well, I'm just going to go back. We'll just go back because I forgot to mention. After Ray-Ban, we got, you know, that we're really starting to incorporate the logos and stuff really nicely now into the illustration. Perhaps that's what reminded me, perhaps that one on the right is not quite as looks quite as part of the illustration, more like it's floating in midair. So it could be a little better placed maybe, but still very good. This one is perfect in terms of the placement of illustration and logo, as is this. And this is what reminded me. You know, the combination of illustration and logo is perfect here, perfect. I couldn't change that relationship at all. The drawing's good. Everything is working nicely here. And this is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it's just lovely. It's a really nice illustration. There were some issues with it the last time we talked, and they're all disappeared. They've gone. Everything is looking clean and good, and I'm totally happy with everything here that I'm seeing. Everything. There's nothing that I could flaw here. Nothing. Well, I guess, you know, maybe I would, if I was going to do this again now, if we had more time, I would say, I wonder if we can't illustrate that product on the right-hand side. I'll leave the logo in there. But I mean, it wasn't required, but, you know, now I'm looking at the illustration with the product in it. It probably needed to be illustrated. But, you know, you can't pull this down. It's superb. As is this. This is really good. I really like this. It's a perfect combination of logo and figure. The figure's doing exactly what we expect it to be doing with that logo. They've done a really good job of the background. These kind of light, I don't know what they are, lights, electric lights around the figure is really good. The fact that that arm is coming over the logo is perfect. It merges it into the background. The dark to light gradient from top to bottom is working well. Everything is nice. The shoes are nice. All the hands are really nicely drawn. Yeah, well done. Very, very good. Very, very in the style that we were looking for. And then this one is again awesome. What a great drawing. What a great illustration. What a great combination of figure. What a great idea. Everything else, everything is great, and that background is just perfect. Yeah, I got nothing to say to this. This one is ready to go, and as are many of the last ones that we talked about. So overall, I think you all did really well. It was a difficult project. In some ways, and it was a surprise in some ways that, you know, what you came up with. It was fun listening to you come up with stuff, and I think maybe the time or the end of the semester got the better of some of you. And I know that you would probably want to do this again and do it better, but you know, yeah, you've done really well considering everything that was going on. Happy with that. Well done. Have a good summer. Yalla bye. See you next semester.